Hey, with all the news out there based on doom and gloom and disaster and destruction and the whole world's going down straight to hell, how about we talk about some good news? How about news about that 90s show? So the now classic TV show, That 70s Show, is getting a spin-off on Netflix called That 90s Show. In case you didn't know, it stars Deborah Jo Rupp and Kurtwood Smith reprising their roles as Red and Kitty Foreman. Of course, the storyline behind this is Eric and Donna's daughter Leia is staying with the grandparents, Kitty and Red, for the summer, and she meets some local kids and gets in a whole bunch of different hijinks and such. Very similar to what went on in the original show, except this takes place in the 90s, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of 90s nostalgia in it, and so on and so on. So, where are we at right now on this show? Well, we still don't have a release date. We do know that it will be 10 episodes. Obviously, we know that Kurtwood Smith and Deborah Jo Rupp will be in the show. And other characters from the show, primarily Topher Grace and Laura Prepon, who played Eric and Donna. Those actors are currently in negotiations as far as being in the show, which really, being that their daughter is staying there for the summer, it would make sense that they wouldn't make a whole bunch of appearances on the show, except for maybe in the beginning to drop her off, which even with that, she could, take a bus or fly and they could pick her up at the airport. So they don't even need to be there for the pilot episode, which they have already officially started filming. Both Kurtwood and Deborah had already posted on Instagram pictures of their first days on set for the pilot filming. Speaking of photos, one of the boom mic operators actually posted on Instagram some set pictures. One of them was of the kitchen, which you can see has been slightly updated. There's new wallpaper and the furniture is not from the 1970s anymore, but you can tell it's still the same house. And of course, they also dropped a picture of the basement, which looks pretty much the same, except you'll notice that Red's favorite chair that was upstairs is now downstairs in the basement. And it looks like the same couch, but like a newer version of it, which I'm a little iffy on that one. They brought Red's couch downstairs, so why didn't they just bring the living room sofa downstairs? That's a minor detail, but you can tell that it looks like the original home. Aside from Topher Grace and Laura Prepon being in negotiations to be on the show, there's also negotiations for Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher as far as making a guest appearance, which having their characters appear makes even less sense of having, Eric and Donna, the parents, show up for this summer vacation, because Jackie and Kelso left. They didn't stay in Point Place, so the fact that they would, maybe the teenagers run into them at the hub or something like that, I guess that'd be a fun little guest appearance, but for them being there, they really have to work in something in the storyline, and you really would have to stretch to get them two showing up at the foreman's residence for some reason, when Eric and Donna obviously don't live there anymore and apparently live so far away that they're sending their daughter Leia off for summer vacation there. And speaking of Leia Foreman, she is played by Callie Harvarda. Not only was that role announced, the other teenagers that will be joining her in the basement, I'm assuming, as well as the hub, are as follows. We will have Gwen, which is a 90s punk rock fan, Nate, which is Gwen's super fun brother, Nikki, which is Nate's super smart girlfriend, Jay, who's going to be the ladies' man, and Ozzy, who's going to be the openly gay character. Now, the first thing that went all over the internet and social media as soon as they listed the names of these actors and actresses and posted their pictures was everyone went, who are these people? I have to say, in the defense of the cast, when that 70s show came out, the cast of the teenagers on that show, who were they? You have to remember, they, for the most part, this was their first acting job, like major acting job for most of them. Of course, they're all major actors and actresses now, doing a lot of different projects. Some of them are even into producing films. But you have to remember, at the time, nobody knew who they were. So it's okay that we have a whole cast of teenage kids that no one's ever heard of, actor and actress wise. But I gotta say, as stuff comes out more and more about this show and we get more photos and more insight to what's going on the production of it, I have to say that for the first time in a really long time, I'm actually pretty positive about this project.